see how fast it takes people to come. This is so crazy. Is it weird that I'm super nervous? All right, let me Snapchat that I am live super fast. I figure it's going to take a while for people to get in here and be notified. So let's just see. If you're seeing me, comment so I know for a fact. Because I don't know who's watching from YouTube. I have to check that out. Oh, perfect. Oh, there's 43 people watching. Hi. So basically, I am streaming right now from YouNow, but I am also going to try to read comments from YouTube. Because if you're on YouTube watching, I'm on a different... did you get the notification? Okay, thank you. Oh, hey! Oh my gosh, you guys are commenting so much on YouTube. I love it so much. I love it. Oh, you guys are so awesome. Yeah, I have my iPad right here. I'm trying to like see what you guys are saying on YouTube. Hey guys. Okay, so for those of you that are here so far, sorry, I'm still trying to like update people that I'm on here. I'm going to be trying to do these live streams at least once a month and maybe, yes, and maybe more often. So I feel like on my channel, hey, what is it? Go on. It's one of my children's beating down the door. Okay, so while people are trying to get here, I want to do a Q&A, but as of right now, I'm going to try to do a live stream at least once a month. Yes. My husband wants to say hi. But I want to do a live stream at least once a month to update on cases and do everything like that. The whole family's joining in right now. I'm trying to read all the comments.
Sorry. We have a knocking at the door.
All right. Are you going to get food?
Not yet.
All right. Okay. I'm going to go and do it.
All right, come on.
Back to subject. Sorry, guys. They said hi. Basically, I'm going to be doing different things on my live YouNow streams and YouTube streams. So today, for instance, I'm going to be doing a Q&A sort of deal while people try to like figure out I'm going live because I only was able to announce this across like social media platforms other than YouTube. And I'm going to be doing updates on cases, and I'm also going to be doing an update on my paranormal situation. So, because there's definitely a situation going on with that. So, let's do some questions first while people are still trying to get here. Let me see. Okay. I'm trying to look at all of them. Lisa, no, I do not have a cat. Oh, that's so funny. Yes, I will be doing an update today on Kenneka Jenkins, but there's not really that much to update on. What kind of a dog do I have? I have a pit bull, a blue-nosed pit bull, and then I also have Willow, and I'm not sure what she is. We were told she was a boxer, but she is not. She is, I want to say, some sort of like American something or other, bulldog. What are they called? I'm not sure. What has been my favorite case to cover so far? That's a hard one. I'm going to have to say Cory's case just because it is so small over here and I'd never heard of it before. And it just seems like there should be so many more answers and there's just not at all. It's so bizarre to me. Okay, let's see what else. What cases do I plan on doing in the future? I will tell you what I'm doing next Wednesday. I'm doing the Delphi murders. You guys have asked me so many times to do it, so I am doing it, and I figured I could share that with you guys. What's the first case that got you really invested in true crime? Yours was Mara Murray. John Benet Ramsey. She was probably the first case I was aware of when it came to murder / death / who really knows, honestly. Did you ever mention going back to school for criminology? Yes, I am going back. Right now I'm a stay-at-home mom and I'm homeschooling, so I'm just kind of doing that right now. Let me answer some. Why aren't you on Twitter? I am on Twitter. To whoever asked that question, it just went by too fast. I am on Twitter. I feel like maybe in my description box it's not there correctly because I feel like I may have changed my name on there. I'm not 100% sure. But I will check and update it if not, because I've had a couple people actually ask me that question. Have you seen The Oxygen is doing a TV series on Mara Murray? Yes, I have, and I've watched the past 2 episodes, and my theory on it has completely changed. They've found a lot out that I was totally not aware of. Yes, Delphi murders are next Wednesday. Can you do more British cases? Yes, I have a lot of people ask me questions about cases from other countries and other areas, and I can find only so much information where I am. So if you have a specific case and you're from another country, please, please, please email it to me. Give me any links you can possibly find on it because it's really difficult to find these sort of things. Okay, let's see. How do I find time to film with 2 little ones? My husband is amazing, and I strategically planned everything. What are your thoughts on Making a Murder? I watched that 2 years ago, and it blew my mind. A lot of people have asked me to cover it, but I would have to rewatch the entire show done on it, and I don't know. It's crazy. I know for a fact though that I couldn't make my mind up in the end. No one was charged with John Bonet's murder. I'm pretty sure it was just deemed an accident or a death, or they haven't found anyone. But people assume that it was the brother, the one that was closest to her, but apparently she has half-brothers or something along those sorts. I have not looked into it for a really long time, so don't quote me on that. Do I prefer recent cases or cases from a while ago? Honestly, recent cases I prefer the most because I feel like my channel could benefit those the most because it's fresh on people's minds. Let's see. Hello, Cassie. I think I said that right. Pizza! I'm so hungry. I didn't eat lunch, and it's not good. I've just been busy. I never remember to eat anything. Okay, what kind of job would you plan or get with your criminology degree? I'm not sure. When I first went into criminology, I wanted to do latent evidence. I wanted to be the person that went and gathered evidence at the crime scene and analyzed it and all that. But I don't know. Part of me wants to be a detective or a private investigator, but I don't know. I have recently found out from Powell, my husband's dad, who was a police officer, that for a lot of the specific areas I want to go into, I would have to be a police officer for a couple of years, and I don't think that I couldn't do it. It just is very intimidating. There's over 37K people here. That's absolutely madness. Y'all are seriously, I have never seen such an amazing group of subscribers. I've been on YouTube for so long. I've seen so many different sets of subscribers, and y'all are freaking awesome. It is literally unbelievable. Okay, let's see. Someone asked if it's going to be posted on YouTube later. I don't know if she'll see this. She says it won't load, so someone type that yes, it will be on YouTube. It will be available on YouTube after this. I'll probably just forever keep it up. I love you. I see you, Eleanor. Okay, let's see. Yeah, you have to be an officer first. Yeah, which Powell, my husband, thinks I'm crazy. I think I could do it. I honestly think I would be a great police officer. I know you guys don't, personally know me very well, but I'm not a very, I don't want to say a non-emotional person. When I'm working, and I'm there to do my job, period, point blank, and I do my best. And I feel like as a police officer, you have to have that quality. Powell, I'm not responding to you. You're creeping on my live stream. See, Lisa, she knows me, and she said I'd be a good police officer. I would. Can you do more Mexican cases or unsolved cases? I have a couple of cases from Mexico that I do have coming up in the next couple of months. But I do want to say something. I get a ton of requests for cases, and I write, where's my book? My children have stolen my book. But I have a book that I write everything in, and I have, at this point, 6 or 7 front-to-back pages of suggestions, and I am I'm getting through as many as I can, and I feel bad because as much as I want to do everyone as fast as I can. I'm only one person. I can only do so much. So I have a lot of things planned. I've got a lot of different cases planned, so. You can talk on here and on YouTube. If you're watching from YouTube, I've got your comments right here. I'm going between like both of them. Okay, let's see. Yeah, if YouNow won't load for anyone, if someone's on YouNow, say that you can go and watch on YouTube. Is the Vegas thing freaking you out? Honestly, yes. I am heartbroken. A lot of people have asked me to cover it. I am not going to, and I don't mean this in a terrible way, but after covering the Kenneka Jenkins case, I have realized how sensitive people really are to these really current and fresh situations, and it was difficult for me to see a lot of people either upset by what I said or whatever, and I will never be a person who will morph my opinion of something or, only display one side of the facts based on what I think of a situation or what others want me to think of a situation, and people did not like that in my Kenneka Jenkins case, so it was a very stressful time for me when I posted that, and it taught me a lot, and as much as I would love to cover what happened in Vegas, I am not going to do that because it's just too many people are still hurting, too many people have not healed enough, and it's difficult to relay a message when people really want to see things one way or another, and that just goes for any really fresh case. Okay, let's see. Cory's case is one of the best you've done. I loved his case. His case was my favorite. And I don't mean I love it. That sounds kind of weird now that I think about it. But I really enjoyed doing his case, and I have updates on him later in this video. Okay, let's see. Did you get response from other YouTubers about your video about the haters? No, I did not. There was like a little bout of drama afterwards, but it was, I guess I'll take this time to like address something. In that video, I was not being specific about a certain YouTuber. I was not directing that to a certain YouTuber. A lot of people thought that I was. There's a ton of YouTubers who do these videos, and I have subscribers from all of those channels coming and saying I'm copying. And you have to understand too that a lot of people are just going to think that because they really support YouTubers, and that's understandable, and they're just trying to stand up for someone that they really care about. That video was directed at people who were being terribly rude, like subscribers of those channels. It was not like directed at an actual YouTuber, if that makes any sense. Natalie Holloway, I've got an update on that as well later. Let's see. What do your friends and relatives think about you doing YouTube? YouTube is something that I've literally done since I was a sophomore in high school, so this is nothing new to anybody. This isn't like some crazy like new thing for me. It's been going on for a while. Cloudy831, yes, you can get a shout out. I get all your emails. I see all your comments. That's funny. Let's see. Hi, Caitlin. Sorry. Someone just ran by my window and the dog's freaked out. Okay, so a couple more questions, and then I'm going to go ahead and get into the case updates because I know a ton of people are here for that, and I've got a couple of cases to update on. So just a few more questions. Pal's comments are funny. Pal is something else. I'm sure you guys see him in my like actual comment section as well. He's a mess. I love him though. When is your next video going to post? So my next video will go up on Saturday. So for those of you who are confused as to why I'm doing this today, I had a case planned for today, and it got super intense, super fast, and the research took a lot longer than I thought it was going to because it's extremely intense. So I didn't want to not have 2 videos a week, and either way I would have had to post that video on Saturday, so I figured case updates, live stream, trying something new today would be kind of cool. Let's see, what else? Are you going to do more vlogs? Yes. It's just difficult because right now all my time and attention goes into this channel. Could you ever do videos on serial killers? Yes, I've actually looked up a handful. You did say you would be asleep, but you are here. What am I making for dinner tonight? No idea, honestly. Okay, thoughts on Mara Murray. I will eventually be doing a video on Mara. It's just going to be a while from now because I'm watching the Oxygen series first. Let's see. One more question. Where's my shirt from? I get this question a lot, so this is like a perfect question to end on. I made it. I went to Target and I got a really big men's t-shirt for like $5. And I just hacked away at it. And you really want to know what's up with the ghost. Okay, let me go ahead and get into the case updates. Something about an LSU student went missing and his body was found by your house. I have not heard about that. Okay, so I'm going right into the updates. I will do more questions at the end. Okay, I have it all written down on my phone because it's a bunch of cases and I don't want to forget anything. Rebecca Corium, I have an update on her. So, as you guys know, Rebecca had a lover, is what they said. Basically, her girlfriend, she had a girlfriend on the ship named Tracy Medley, and she was completely silent for years about what had happened, and she just recently made a Facebook post because I'm sure you guys have seen there's been a lot of, like, information about the Rebecca Corium case going around Twitter. There's been Facebook posts, like, advertising it, which is super bizarre to me, but she broke her silence and said that they had a relationship, and Tracy was never in a relationship with a girl before Rebecca, and so it was complicated. She had another boyfriend that she had had previously on the ship, and what happened is they got into arguments, and she found out Rebecca had some issues with drugs when she was back home, and I guess they got into an argument the night before she went missing because the girl decided she wanted to be back with her ex-boyfriend. Rebecca freaked out a little bit. She was like banging her head against the walls, got extremely intoxicated, was punching herself in the face, and then they finally got her calmed down. It took 4 people, and after they got her calmed down, they put her in, I think, Tracy's room, and she woke Tracy up in the middle of the night, and Tracy said that Rebecca told her that she felt, what is the exact words? I have the quote right here. She said she felt like a failure for not being brave enough to jump off of the ship and essentially commit suicide. And then the next day, she thinks that's what happened. So I find it interesting because this is exactly what I do these for. It can just take one person to totally change someone's views on a case and what happened. So that could completely prove that she did actually commit suicide. Yes, this is the Disney case of Rebecca Corium. So while so many of us thought that she was possibly, it was foul play, that she was sexually assaulted and thrown off the ship and all that, no. From what her friend says, after breaking her silence, she committed suicide. She apparently had a lot of issues that she talked to this girl about, and it's heartbreaking. If that's really what happened, that will be absolutely terrible. This girl said she broke her silence because the family was coming at her so bad, that this family was trying to make sure that it seemed like something it wasn't, and she was being attacked because of it, and her name was being thrown under the bus. No, she wasn't found. The friend just came forward and told what happened that night. And the thing that bothers me about that, though, is that that's something very important. She claims she told no one this because she was trying to protect her image, Rebecca's image. And I don't know. I thought that was something very important that she probably should have told people off the bat, but I guess she felt it was important to not say anything. I don't know. I think that's pretty crazy. Let me see what you guys are saying on YouTube. Hi, Donna. I see your comment. Yeah, I don't know why she never said anything earlier. That literally basically could solve this case. And, even if the parents don't necessarily want to believe it, she definitely, that could have given them some closure. So this person asked, do you think that maybe the friend had something to do with it and this has been eating at her and she was scared of getting caught? I don't think so, personally. She retold all of the events. I mean, she even said bad things that she did. She, like, you know what I mean? Like, she didn't seem like she was trying to make Rebecca out as a bad person. She said that she was absolutely in love with her. They were apparently, like, madly in love with each other. So I don't know. I do think she should have spoke up sooner. Hello from Canada. She's coming out now to say something because she's been attacked by the parents and people on social media. I do think, though, you know, it's hard to say whether these things are true or not, just because people coming out this late in the game, I don't know. It can definitely be questionable, but at the same time, she wouldn't really benefit from it. So she wouldn't really get anything out of it, basically. And there's really no reason for her to come out and say anything unless she was telling the truth. But, I don't know. Hi, Jules. Enjoy breakfast. I love it. Okay. Let's see. Maybe she's being paid to tell now. I don't know. Could be possible. I mean, I love Disney personally, but I do know that there are some sketchy things going on with that company, so it's very possible. Hi from Vegas. My heart 1,000,000% goes out to you. Okay. Is the case still open? From what I know, no. Sherry Papini's case. Yes, I will put that down in my book. Okay, let's go on to the next update. Madeleine McCann has an update. Okay, so they have a person of interest. Well, okay, not in a sense that, well, I don't really know what sense it is in, but basically they just got a huge bit of funding in the Madeleine McCann case, and they say they're hunting for someone that's a person of interest. They don't say exactly if it's someone they think that did it or someone who just has information on it. Yeah.
Your daughter said hello to you on there. You better respond to her.
Hi, Raylan. Sorry, my daughter's watching from the other room.
Watching right now. Hold on just a second.
My daughter's watching from the other room. Apparently, she typed hello, and I have to say hi back. Oh, she's sad. That makes me sad. Basically, pal, can you take her over there so I can say hi? Hi, baby. My poor girl. They receive funding. There's a person of interest. They don't say what exactly it's from. Okay. Hi, baby. Sorry, guys. They don't say if it's like someone who possibly is involved or knows something. I'm not sure, but they have a person of interest that they're hunting down. And also, something that I found while finding that information is that, as we know, this happened in Portugal, and Portugal police were covering her case. Then it was taken to the Scotland Yard, and they were the ones who were covering it. And I found out that the Scotland Yard never re-interviewed the parents or anyone at the tapas restaurant, like at all, which I find very interesting. They were relying on Portuguese police. So basically when the parents were interviewed and all those people were interviewed, they were interviewed through a translator into Portuguese, and then those Portuguese police then sent all of the Portuguese information over in a different language to the UK, and then they had to retranslate it back into English. So there is a lot of room for error there, and the Scotland Yard never re-interviewed them. So hopefully they will re-interview them. Let's see. Someone says that UK taxpayers aren't happy about the Madeleine McCann case getting even more money. What I will say, based off of the comments on that video, no one from the UK is happy with what's happening in the Madeleine McCann case, and they are almost all positive the parents had something to do with it. Am I eating tacos for National Taco Day? No, I had tacos last night, though. Let's see. I was still living in Portugal when she disappeared. Yeah, it's crazy. And, no one really agrees that they keep getting more funding. I don't know where the funding came from, I will say that, but yeah. See, people are saying they definitely think the parents have something to do with it. I'm reading comments right now. They get so much money. They do get so much money. I have seen some of the figures of just um, single bits of money that were given to them. I haven't seen like how much collectively they have been given, but they have been given a ton of money. No, you have not missed the paranormal update. I am doing case updates right now, and then I'll be doing my paranormal update.
Mommy, I'm saying hi to you.
Okay, baby. Go watch in there, okay? Thank you. Okay, so we are going to, it comes from, oh my gosh, it comes from your taxes. People are saying that their funding comes from people's taxes. I feel like in a case as controversial as that one, that probably should not be happening, but I think they made really bad choices, but I don't think they hurt their daughter. I have no idea what I think about it after researching a little bit more on it. I mean, it's a crazy case. It's a crazy case. They definitely did not make very good choices when it came to keeping their children safe, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens about it. Do you think Maddie will ever be found? Unfortunately, I don't think she will be. When cases go unsolved this long, it's usually that they have died in some sort of way or they are in sex trafficking. It's just, I don't think at this point she will be found, which is super unfortunate. Okay. But there's no body. She could have been abducted. She could have been abducted. Very, very possible. I do believe that is a possibility. But again, if she was abducted, it was probably to be put into sex trafficking or not for any sort of good reason. I feel like people don't really abduct children to keep them and take care of them. And I mean, that's just my personal opinion on it. I'm sure there are cases where that's happened, but that's usually not the case. So I don't know. All right, moving on to Natalie Holloway. Okay, as you guys know, in my Natalie Holloway video, her father claimed to have found remains. And I said in that video that I was not going to watch the Oxygen series. I ended up watching it because I found out very quickly that I would not be getting any more information on the case without watching that series. So I watched it. It was very heartbreaking to see her father. I found out a lot of things about the case. If you can go back and watch it, I highly, highly suggest it. But it turns out that they were not her remains. So her case is still 100% unsolved, back to square one. In the Oxygen series, they followed a man named John Ludwig. He claimed to have been a roommate at one point of Vandersloot and said that he was paid, I think, like $1,500 to go dig up Natalie's body, cremate it, mix it with cremated dog bones, and then bury it somewhere. But when they finally went to go and look for it, this dude led them like all over the place, like absolutely all over the place. And when they finally found a little baggie containing bones, only one of them was human bone, and it was not from Natalie. They tested her mother for DNA, and it did not match. Okay, let's see. You started watching it too, and it broke your heart. Yeah, I just really want everyone to go watch that documentary, that little documentary series. It was heartbreaking. You know, the dad went back and forth from Aruba to here to there. You know, he had to watch all these things going on. He had to hear secondhand what John claimed to have happened to his daughter, and it was difficult. I, as a parent, would not be able to sit down and listen to half the things that they said happened to this girl. It was, I know he's heard things before, but he said it was the most credible lead that he had followed since 2005. So for those of you who are coming in a little bit later, I am doing case updates right now. You can also go back on YouTube and rewatch this or go to any parts that you missed after this. I will be keeping it up. Let's see. Other questions. It was not her remains, then is the story said true? I'm guessing no. I have seen a couple other videos of this guy, John, and I don't know if he was maybe just doing it for attention, or you have to understand, in cases this big, a lot of people want to put themselves in the middle of it, whether they know anything about it or not. And not in a sense of helping, in a sense of just wanting the attention, wanting to be like in the media eye, and people will often come and claim to know things when they have absolutely no idea what's going on, like no idea. The thing that I find weird though is that his aunt, this guy John, the one who claimed to know so much, he has an aunt that lives in Aruba. So, I mean, he somehow is connected. I mean, I honestly think it's possible that maybe he does really know what happened, and he just won't say it because he changed his stories so many times, like so many times. So it's very possible to me that he did know what was going on. He just still hasn't given them the correct story. We're talking about Natalie Holloway right now. They found her remains, and the DNA test came back 2 days ago, yesterday, and they were not hers. They were animal bones. Any updates on Nicholas Barclay? No. His story was so detailed, I don't get why he would make up this incredible story. That's the thing about it. Vandersloot's stories were also very detailed, and they all so far have been proven to be false so far. This guy's story did have a lot of information. He knew a lot of things, but there also was a lot in the media that he could have been watching at the time, and I don't know. Very possible he was just making things up. Brandon Lawson, there's no update on him either. Yes, John, I see you. Results did come back in the Natalie Holloway case. It is not her. I just find it strange because I'm still sitting here and I'm like, okay, but there was a human bone in this. Like, how did he know that these bones were here? Like, did he kill somebody? I'm just saying, that's just a question. I'm not accusing. But how would he lead them straight to something that did end up being, there was a human bone in it? Where did he get that human bone from? I mean, where they found the bones was against this wall, like dug deep in the ground. I don't get it. I mean, there were animal bones, but there was one human bone. I don't know where he got that from. I don't know. That part does freak me out. Yeah, that's what I think is strange. It's crazy. I hope they eventually find something on her, because it's heartbreaking. Seeing her dad, that was absolutely the worst. I thought it was inconclusive, and they had to smash the remaining bone to test fully. Not from what I have seen. They did come out and say that it was not a match. So, but if you've seen anything else stating otherwise, give me all the links. I am never going to say that my answer is the only answer and what I find is the only thing to be found. So always give me links if you have them. What about the German kid that disappeared? There are no updates. However, a few people from Germany have contacted me and said that the parents or the mom is still looking for him. And it's very possible that there is a homeless man. And I think she hired a private investigator to go and check if it is him, but now they can't find him. Can you cover Brandon Swanson? It's on my list already. Are you making an update video? Yes, that's what's going on right now. I am doing case updates for all the cases that I've done. If you are coming in late, you can go on YouTube once this is done and rewatch anything. Let's see. I'm not seeing any more questions. So let's go on to the next update. So this is on Kenneka Jenkins. Honestly, not much has changed, but I knew I was going to get a lot of questions about this. So her funeral was actually held for her this past Sunday. I'm pretty sure it was over 1,000 people showed up. But there are still no results back from any of the testing that was done. I know the mother and the friends are still holding a lot of protests outside the hotel. They're trying to get answers still. They're trying to have more people look into it. The police are still denying the FBI's involvement. So as of right now, there's still really not much information. There's no more new information. I just wanted to say that they did hold a funeral for her on Sunday. Yes, I talked about the Madeleine McCann case a little bit earlier, and there is a significant new lead in that, but it's not, they don't say if it's like a person of interest who possibly did something or maybe someone who just knows something. Let's see, more questions. Yeah, I'm looking at YouTube and it's quite the task. Let me just tell you, it's definitely a struggle. Anything more from the Trump family? No, nothing more. They have really been keeping off of any sort of social media for obvious reasons. Everyone thinks they're absolutely crazy, and they're just, I guess, trying to live out their normal life without the influence of everyone else's opinion, which is 100% understandable. Let's see. Someone said the police mishandled it bad. Which case are we talking about? I'm assuming maybe the Kenneka Jenkins. Hey, Rebecca. All right. There was another woman killed at the Crown Plaza in Sacramento. I actually did hear something like that. I have not looked into it, though, myself. So let's go on to the last update, and this one is the one I'm most excited about. And Cory McCann, they are reopening the search. I literally just did this video, I think it was like last Saturday, and the police had just announced that they had quit the search in the landfill, and they have decided to reopen it. I've seen some conflicting statements. His uncle, I think it was, said that they were looking in the wrong place the entire time, but the police said that they are just looking in a place near where they had been looking before. That they said there was a possibility he was still in the landfill, just in a different area, but it was right beside where they were looking before. So that one, that made my heart so happy. Like, so freaking happy. I think someone sent it to me on Twitter, and I like screamed and called Pal, and I was like, you will not believe it. Because I'm hoping he's not in there and there is some other explanation, but I do not agree with them stopping the search in the landfill at all. So I'm happy they are restarting it. Let me see if there's questions. Someone asked, have I ever been contacted by family members from cases you've covered? Rebecca Corium, I was contacted by someone who works closely with the father. I have a link to their foundation under the Rebecca Corium video. And then for, who was it? Kelsey Schelling, the girl who, Dante, everyone will recognize the case the second I say that name. The pregnant girl. I was contacted by a friend of hers who wanted me to cover the case, but I've never been contacted directly by parents. It's been by someone who has come from the parents telling them that I make these videos and deciding to want to make a video, which I think is pretty awesome. Let's see, what else? If you are giving me suggestions on here, it's going to be really hard for me to keep up with it. So if you want to send me in any suggestions, please email me. I try to go through them as often as possible, but it does take me a while. I think Cory's in the landfill, CCTV surrounding the area, and no sign of him walking off. So a lot of people think, according to the comments, that with Cory, someone murdered him, and that, what did they call it in the UK? I thought it was so strange. Horseshoe. People murdered him there and then drove him out. But I don't know, I feel like they would have possibly checked plates off of cars that left the area. I think it's very possible he was put in a trash can. A lot of people said that he was maybe trying to throw his food away, but the CCTV footage right before that showed he had absolutely no food in his hands. He'd already tossed it. So why would he have ended up in a trash can? And someone also confirmed that there was footage of him sleeping for 2 hours. However, I have still not found it, so I am not confirming that myself. So I don't know. I hope he's not in the landfill just because I don't ever want to hope the worst for someone, but I think it's very, very possible. Updates on Kyle Fleischman. There are no updates. Being so close to where I live, I check it all the time. I don't know. Nothing on him so far. I think it's, and I don't know this, so don't quote me on it. I think everyone involved in it is just so heartbroken and is almost, in order to move on in life, had to come to terms that they're not going to find him, which I think is absolutely heartbreaking. And, you know, you have to do what you have to do in order to cope with the rest of your life. So I think that's a possibility, but there have been no new updates on it. What case are you working on? Do you guys want me to tell you the case that is coming on Saturday? I want to tell you. I want to tell you because I can not keep secrets very well, and it's an insane one. Real quick, they say duh, but someone said updates on Kenneka. I just talked about it, but there are no new updates. None of the information has come back, but she did have a ceremony on Sunday. Anything about Kelsey Shelling? No, nothing so far on Kelsey Shelling either. What about Lars? Nothing on Lars. Is your husband as interested in these cases as you are? Yes. Me and him are actually tandem working on the case for Saturday. I've already filmed it once. I'm going to have to refilm it because after getting his opinion on it and seeing different things, he showed me a totally different perspective. So, we'll see. But yeah, he's more into like conspiracies. Like he's all about what's going on in Vegas right now and figuring it out. So, okay. Can you repeat how you want us to submit requests? So if for anyone out there watching, if you want to give me a request, please, please, please send it to me in an email. That's the easiest way for me to keep track of it. Have you seen the film Wind River? I have not. Pal, no one's going to think you're crazy. I see you're still watching my live stream. Yes, you can tweet me links, but I have already lost a ton of different requests that way. I try to screenshot when I can, but yeah. Okay, so I'm going to tell us the case you're doing because people on YouTube want me to do it now. So my case for Saturday is on Jalea Davis. And I don't know if any of you are going to know what that's about. If you know what happened, let me know. It's probably the craziest case that I've been involved with. I did my preliminary research, and it was definitely a crazy case, but when I really dove into it, wow. Pal should be in videos with you. Actually, this is something that I did want to talk to you guys about. So as I said earlier in this video, one day a month, possibly more, I will be doing a You Now like this. I might do like random ones in between just to talk to you guys, be a lot more interactive with you. It's a lot easier. But I was also considering starting, like having people sit in on my cases. And because to me, the best part about doing this is seeing what you guys have to say about it afterwards and seeing how many brilliant ideas you guys come up with. Like, you guys blow my mind every time I post a video. And so I was thinking it might be awesome if I could have people sit in on my videos, like my mom or my sister or any of my friends or Powell. Not all the time, just like once a month. And so you can kind of get like not only my take on it, but someone else's opinions on it. Okay, people so far say that sounds awesome. No Skylar updates. No Lars updates. Someone says, the guy in Vegas was not alone. What do you and your husband think? Powell, do not say a single word on here. I have not looked into it a lot because I've been all in the case that I've got going on for Saturday. But I don't know. I don't know enough about it, and I'm not going to say anything. Oh, I love it. I love it. You guys are awesome. Okay. I need to sleep as it's past midnight and my son will be up at 6 a.m. Good night, Alice. Sorry, I saw you comment a couple times, but it's going by faster than I'm able to see it. Pal, make a channel and do conspiracies. Y'all, if Pal made a channel on conspiracies, oh man. He is all of, it would entertain you. He sees them from all different angles. Do you think you'll do more conspiracy videos one day? So I enjoy watching conspiracy videos, but I, for some reason, can't for the life of me, like, find any good conspiracies, and I don't want to just, like, take everyone else's video ideas that I see while watching conspiracy videos, so I don't know. Where did I get the shirt? I made it. He would do good at it. He would be really good at it. Okay, let's see. What about the Beaumont children? No updates on that. No updates on Brandon Lawson. What's been the most bizarre case you've covered so far? The case coming on Saturday. FEMA conspiracy theories. Y'all don't even get me started on here right now. I can't. That is the one conspiracy theory that I will freak Powell out with all the time. Excited for Saturday. Thanks for answering. Oh, and I love your glasses. Let's see what else. Okay. Have any of your videos ever helped out in any of these cases? Not that I know of so far. I hope, though, eventually it does. Like, I really, really, really hope so. It would be crazy. And, like, the thing to me is, even if I don't personally, like, add any new information, or you guys don't add any new information, or if it makes anyone else come forward, just having so much attention on YouTube on the case and people sharing it can have the right people see it, so they might, like, reopen one of these cases, or, you know what I mean? Like, at least I hope that happens. Are there any cases you wouldn't cover for whatever reason? Yes, there are a few that have been suggested that I haven't covered, and the reason I haven't covered every single one of them is because someone involved in the case has literally gone to the extent of changing their name to not be a part of it anymore, and I would never want to bring a case to light where one of the victims is still alive and hiding because of how terrible it was. Like, I think that's extremely disrespectful. Can I do my paranormal update? Yes, I think that is a perfect time for my paranormal update. I wish my daughter was here right now. They went to get some food. But paranormal update. So since I made my last update, not a ton has happened until like the past 2 days. So the first thing that happened, and when these things happen, it all seems to happen in clusters. So I'll go like a month without anything happening, and then it all starts the same. It'll start off with, you know, just small things happening, like I'll see something walking by, and that's pretty much exactly what happened this time. The past couple days, like within the past week, I've had that same strange feeling by that back closet and by Raylan's room. And there have been a couple times where I've had to do a double, sometimes triple take, because it looks like a full, huge human being is standing there, or like walking into her room or walking into that back hallway. And I immediately was like, great. Like, here we go again. It's starting again. And then I was filming one day, and I have a really small tripod, and I filmed really fast, and then I had to go pick Paul up from work, so I folded the tripod all the way down, and I set it, you can even look right here, I set it all the way back here, so my children couldn't get it, and it didn't matter anyways, because they were waiting at the door with their shoes on. I just last minute put it up and put it right there, instead of in the bag and in the closet where I keep it. And essentially what happened is we came home, and I walked in the living room and stopped dead in my tracks, because right in the middle of the living room floor was my tripod, just sitting there on the floor. No one was in the house. We had been gone the entire time. Like, literally before I walked out of the door, I set it on my desk, and all of a sudden it was gone. And the reason why I was so freaked out by that is because nothing has ever happened inside of our room. And It was still folded. Nothing about it had been changed. Like, it wasn't, like, expanded or anything, but it was in the middle of the floor in our living room, which was not where I left it. And you guys, like, when we leave, because of our apartment, we have to crate our dogs. So our dogs weren't out. Nothing was out in the house, period, that could have moved this tripod. Let me see what people are doing. Can I do a tour of where paranormal activity happens in your house? That's actually a brilliant idea. So I might do that. Before I keep going, did they figure out what happened to Paulette? The answer is no. Okay, so this is when we start talking about my daughter and these paranormal experiences. And just to clear some things up, because I had a couple of upset people on my last video, I don't force her to sleep in her room alone. And I do 1,000,000% believe her when she says these things to me. I've been someone who's experienced stuff like this literally my entire life, so I would never not take my daughter seriously. And for anyone who knew my daughter, she is a smart little girl. Like, she is intelligent. And she is not one to just make something like that. I don't know. She's just too smart. So, like, my heart's literally beating hard before even talking about this. So at night, my husband falls asleep with her. Literally since she was a baby. Like, forget me, I'm in the bed alone. He goes and he sleeps with her at night, and then eventually she kicks him out because she doesn't want him in the bed anymore, and he comes and he sleeps with me. So it's not that we leave her in there alone. She's not alone. She falls asleep with my husband in there every single night because she's always had this issue where she wakes up in the middle of the night, has nightmares, things like that. So it was 2 nights ago. Pal can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments because he's here on you now. 2 nights ago, she woke up the next morning, and Willow, one of our dogs, sleeps in our room every single night. Both dogs are in our room at night. They are not in the kids' rooms. And I'm in the bathroom. Pal went to wake her up, and all of a sudden, she bolts into our bedroom. Like, bolts into our bedroom and was like, Willow, honey, I'm here. And once again, Willow's our dog. She was like, I'm here for you, honey, I'm here for you. And I was like, what is this chick talking about? And she, like, does weird stuff sometimes, so I didn't think twice about it. I was just in the bathroom getting ready. And she, like, wouldn't stop. And, like, she was just petting her and worried about her. And I was like, what is going on right now? Like, Willow has been hers since they were both babies. They grew up together. And so they've just always had this weird relationship. And so, like, 10 minutes later, she still has not left Willow's side. And I'm like, what is going on? And she's like, she's hurt. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, how would you have known that? You were asleep in your room. Like, you wouldn't just run in here and immediately run to Willow. Like, she ran and busted the door and screaming. And sure enough, I look over, and Willow's tail is bleeding. She had, like, a hot spot and had been gnawing on it all night, and it was bleeding. And Pal and I had not noticed. And so I told Pal, I was like, she just ran in here screaming about Willow. And he was like, yeah, I know. Like, I woke her up, and her first words were, I need to go to Willow. And she ran in here, and she somehow knew that Willow was bleeding and hurt. And she had been in her room all night long, and Willow had been in here all night long in our room. So, I mean, that's absolutely crazy. Pal's looking at me through the window. It says, it seems like activity is around you in your daughter's room. What do you think about that? Were the dogs freaked out? No, the dogs were fine. She had just had a hot spot, and she had been like, I know you guys know what I'm talking about, like with dogs, sometimes they get hot spots, and right now they've both got terrible allergies, and she had just been gnawing, essentially, on the base of her tail all night long, and we didn't know. She woke up and knew immediately. Raylan did. Do your dogs go nuts when you see stuff? No. They have never, other than our older house, they never react. Our old house, I mean, they were crazy. Neither one of them would go into the bathroom when we first moved there. I think Honda spent a full year refusing to go into our bathroom. Let's see if there's any more questions. So that leads us to last night, which kind of makes me think, it kind of validates something that I think is going on. So last night, she woke up in the middle of the night multiple times, came into our room, same thing that I told you in the story, and Pal kept going with her back to her bedroom, laying with her for a while until she fell asleep. and then she came back in here, kept doing it. I mean, it was like over and over and over again. And this morning, when she woke up, she was telling me and Powell about a dream. And like, at first it seemed silly. She was like, someone stole my cake and like a two-headed this. And like, I at first was just thinking like, okay, dream. So, but it kept waking her up. Like, she couldn't sleep. We were all up since 4 a.m. this morning. So then I dropped Powell off at work and we're in the car and we're coming back home. And she was like, I remember the other part of my dream that I forgot to tell you about. And I was like, okay, like I always listen to what she says about her dreams. She tells me, and she always remembers them vividly, like forever. And she goes, someone's trying to get into the room. It's just Raylan, nothing creepy. So someone, who is it? Pal, is it you? Lisa! You're okay. Sorry, guys. Quiet. Sorry. My friend stopped by. Hey, easy. You're okay. You're okay. No, man, you're okay. Sorry, guys. Yes, welcome to having pets. Can't predict that. But, so, she told me in the car, she was like, there was a two-headed man, in my room. And she was like, and it kept trying to get into our living room. Like, and I asked her, I was like, okay, did you see this or was it in your dream? And she kept saying, she was like, well, I thought it was in my dream, but I couldn't move. Solved. I think she's having sleep paralysis. And a couple of you had mentioned this before, and I totally did not agree with it. I totally didn't think that was what was going on. But she said that she was trying to make it stop, you guys. Like, my heart. She kept saying, I was seeing them. There was a two-headed thing in my room. It wouldn't go away. And she was like, I was trying to make it stop. And that makes me think she's dealing with sleep paralysis. Sorry for everyone who heard all the dogs freaking out. Do you think your daughter has psychic abilities? Sorry if your dogs are going crazy, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, so this leads me to something else. I've always had things happen to me all of the time, and just very bizarre things. I've got so many different things that have happened. I personally have never experienced sleep paralysis. Knock on every bit of wood, like possible, like knocking everywhere. I want nothing to do with it. But Raylan's a different child. And I don't mean that in like any sort of bad or negative way. She's just always been different. Like ever since she was born, like you cannot help but love this child. Like you cannot help but want to be around her. Like, she's just so different. She talks to you like she's an adult. She has always been like that. She's always been so much smarter than children around her age. She has emotions that other children aren't capable of really even having yet. And, like, she's the most empathetic child I have ever witnessed. Like, if someone were to fall down, she would be the first person there. She would be trying to help them up. I mean, she will talk about it for years to come. For an example, there was a man from Chick-fil-A. She was with her grandmother, and they went to Chick-fil-A, and an older man slipped and fell. She was the first person to get to this older man, and at this time, she was only 2.5. And she still talks about him to this day. If we pass that Chick-fil-A, she remembers him. She asks if he's okay. She is sometimes scared to go into Chick-fil-A because she's worried someone else is going to fall. Like, she genuinely cares about other people and their feelings, which is not that it's uncommon for a child, but for her to be acting like that from such a young age is not very common. So I actually had someone approach me when I was in the mall. I was with my mom, and I was changing in the dressing room and like trying things on, and I heard Raylan having this conversation with this lady, and they were discussing stones. I came out, and y'all, can you see my goosebumps? Do you see that? I came out of the dressing room, and this woman grabs me by my face, and she was like, you have an indigo child. So, for those of you who don't know what an indigo child is, they're basically like old souls. Like, they are wise beyond their years. I have not researched a lot into them, so I don't know a ton about it. But, so, here, if someone knows any more, feel free to, like, fill in. But it's someone who's essentially lived many lives, and it's a soul that has been around forever. And I've heard in some cases that they're on their last life, per se, so they're like the wisest people. They have things like extreme abilities to be empathetic to people. They are extremely intelligent, extremely wise. They excel in a lot of things. If you just go, yeah, she's really hard to raise. She's got her own way of doing things. She does not want to be told otherwise. And I know that can just be like a character trait of a child, but it's so much more than that. And since I've been homeschooling her, I've seen it a lot more. That, you know, she does things differently and she does things her way, but she always does them right. It's just in her way and there is no fighting it. They get depression and go crazy and all that, yes. They can have problems with mental health. And, you know, I don't know. And when I talked to the woman, she also said it's very, very possible that I'm an indigo child, which would make perfect sense if anyone knew me in person. So, but that could have something to do with what's going on. And a lot of people have said possibly, once again, the sleep paralysis, you know, it's crazy. We could be sensitive. She could be a medium. Like, there's all sorts of things that people have told me. Let me see what's going on YouTube. Hold on, I'm trying to see. Let me see what's going on. I should start a podcast. I would love to start a podcast. Like that, like, I'll talk all day long. You guys already know this, I'm sure. I'll keep talking. But yeah, so that's like what's been going on. But it was just, I've just had this bad, terrible feeling about that back area again. It's just a bad feeling. I can't describe it. It's nothing like at my old house where I'm feeling like depression or increased anxiety. It's nothing. It's completely different. A lot of people said that it was possibly something like a mirror or some sort of item that I've brought from my previous house, but it's very possible. I have a mirror that I've had with me since childhood, and it is the strangest thing to me about this mirror, and I immediately got goosebumps when someone said, is there anything in your possession that you've had with you forever, or maybe inherited? And you can ask Powell. This mirror is an ugly mirror. Like, there's nothing about this mirror that is, like, pleasing aesthetically. There's literally no reason to keep this mirror, and every time we've moved, he's always been like, throw it out. But for some reason, like, it's almost like, I'm like, no, like, I can't throw it out. And I never have an explanation as to why. Like, I want to get rid of it, but every time it comes down to it, it's like something in me panics, which freaks me out even more, so then I'm scared to throw it away after that. People are saying to smudge with sage. I've had a lot of people contact me claiming to be paranormal investigators, mediums, things of all that sort, and once again, I can't obviously believe someone over an email. But people have given me a lot of advice, but I'm scared to do something on my own, so when I am, you know, ready and in a position to deal with it, I mean, I want to deal with it, like, immediately. Like, I could smudge with sage right now and be content, but that could also make it worse, or, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many different things that could happen, and I don't trust doing anything by myself. I thought about doing smudging. I was going to get oils and pray over all the doorways, windows, all that. Like, I had so many things I was planning on doing, but the more I really researched into it and talked to certain people, the more I was like, I am not doing this myself. I'm just not comfortable with it. So I do need to contact someone. It's just contacting someone who knows what they're doing, if that makes sense. And I feel like that's so hard to do. Does she get headaches and is clumsy? No. Like, physically, me and her have no issues. Like, our son doesn't seem to have anything going on. Powell, like, sense things every once in a while. Like I said before, he'll see things and I'll sense it. But, like, we're not physically affected at this house like I was in my old house. And, like, I haven't gone, like, a lot into it. But, I mean, it was horrific. Like, if you were to see me when I was in that house compared to who I am now, you would not think I was the same person. And, I mean, people who knew me before that saw, like, my weird, drastic change. And it was bizarre. I couldn't explain it. I had a breakdown one time, and I kept telling Pal, I'm like, I know this isn't me. Like, this is not me. I don't know what's going on. I feel like I have no control. It's crazy. And luckily, it's not that right now. And it seems to be something totally different in general. So, I don't know. Let's see what people are saying. Everyone's saying, sage it. Everyone. Cover the mirror and sage it. Yes, smudge with sage. I don't know. I'm too nervous to do anything on my own. There are crystals that work as well, apparently. Yeah, and that brings me back to my daughter. I found it very interesting that the person who talked to her that one day that said that she was an Indigo child, she was wearing a ton of different crystals, and she had a grounding crystal in specific. And the reason she went over to Raylan was because Raylan was, like, having an absolute meltdown with my mom outside while I was trying things on. And my mom, like, was struggling to get her calmed down. Like, she wasn't being bad. She was just hyperactive, like, freaking out. So this woman came forward with a grounding crystal and let Raylan play with it, which is what she was doing. And, I mean, instantly chilled Raylan out. Like, totally chilled her out. How'd you get the mirror? I don't know originally where it came from, but I do know that it was at my father's house, and I kind of, like, took it with me when I moved out. Do you have a separate storage area at the apartment? Yes, I do, and I actually could put it in there. Yeah, like, the thing is, like, right now, I have no issue getting rid of it, but, like, it's like I said before, like, but when it actually comes to doing it, like, I panic. It's weird. I cannot explain it. It's so strange. Thank you, Jessica. I see you on YouTube. I don't know. It's very bizarre, but those are all the paranormal things that have been happening. It's been absolute madness. It's scary. Maybe I don't want to let go of it because it's been with me so long. That's the thing. Like, I've got no sentimental attachment with it, and I don't speak to my father anymore, like, at all. So I've got nothing attached to it. Like, I have no issue getting rid of it. It's just, once again, like, the second it comes down to it, I panic. Everyone's telling Pal to do it now. Watch. I'm going to go out there. That mirror is going to be gone. That's funny. Let's see. Is the mirror in my daughter's room? No. The mirror's not in my daughter's room. Absolutely love your channel. I accidentally binge watched everything you've posted. Oh no, I just sit around and wait for your new content. Yeah, everyone is saying get rid of it. I will. I have no issue with it. Like, I really don't. Like, right now, if you're like, get rid of it, I'm like, yeah, okay, go take it right now. It's just, for some reason, every single time, it's just so weird. Maybe mentally deep down, that's why you don't want to get rid of it. I mean, possibly, but I don't know. Like, it's sensitive. Put it in storage and see if anything changes. That's a good idea, because it could not be the mirror. No, see, and I shouldn't have even said anything about it. My father and I don't speak, and I'm fine with it. Like, 100% fine with it. Like, there's no negative, weird emotions attached, especially with that mirror, because that mirror didn't mean anything to him either. It was just kind of like in our house. Like, with my father, there was no sentimental value to materialistic things, period. He was a very materialistic person, so nothing of that sort meant anything to me. So that would, out of everything, not hold any sort of value to me. That would be a good step to try storage. Yes, I do agree with that. Did anything happen at your dad's? Yes, I was going to do a story time on it. Things have always happened at my dad's house. In specific, he flipped houses, and we lived in a historical district house that was very, very old. We found a lot of bizarre things in the walls, and weird things happened at that house. So, Yep. It's crazy. Is your daughter drawn to the mirror? No. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's hard to say what's going on. I don't know. It's very difficult to say what's going on because it's almost like maybe me and her both are just very sensitive because we both have, like, our very different experiences. So it's hard to say. It really, really is. It might not even be the mirror. Yeah, exactly. It might not even be the mirror. It could just be that we are sensitive. I had someone contact me and say that because we lived in an apartment complex now, that could be why a lot of things are happening, because there could be so many different people who could have possibly passed away here, and we're just like a beacon to them if we're sensitive. Yeah, see, a lot of people don't think mirror has anything to do with it. Is it bad to ask what happened with your dad? No, it's not a sensitive subject to me. I mean, sometimes I get upset, obviously, but it is what it is. We just don't talk. He just was not a good person. Let's see. Have your husband do a video on Vegas stuff. I'm sure he would like to, but you would be here for like 7 hours. Do you think 1 or 2 spirits are following you? So, as I've said before, my sister did pass away, and I definitely have had times where I have 100% sensed her. So, at her funeral, me and her had this thing with birds together. That's why I have birds tattooed on my body. And at her funeral, I was like sitting by her grave after everyone had already gone, after the burial, and all these birds came out of nowhere. Like, I'm talking like at least 40 birds, like, flew up out of nowhere, and like I instantly knew that was her. Like 100% that was her. And I've like sensed her at times, but that's not what's happening. And like what I'm sensing now doesn't feel like anything's following me. It just feels like I keep running into things, if that makes any sense. Like it's definitely not the same thing as my last house. Whatever it is, it's not the same. Might as well get rid of everything and move. Well, we tried that. Didn't work out. Literally, we did. We moved. We got rid of almost everything. Except for this mirror. Lord have mercy, I'm telling you. How old is the building you live in? Not very old, I don't think. It's a fairly new community. Let's see. Can you get a cat to chase away the spirits? I cannot. Powell is allergic. But, yep. I don't know. So there's really no telling at all what could be going on. I mean, Raylan is not being physically harmed, and I'm not being physically harmed, and, you know, this is almost at this point like a once-in-a-blue moon type of thing, like every couple of months. If it was something all of the time, I would be a lot more concerned than I am. However, it doesn't seem threatening, whatever's going on here, like, at all. It just seems weird more than anything. However, what she does tell me is concerning, but once again, it's really hard to figure out what's going on with her, because is she just having dreams? Is she really seeing this? Like, what is going on? It's hard to figure out. My barbecue is getting slightly room temperature. It can wait another few minutes before I get off. With your unique perspective and your empathy for these cases, what advice would you give to the parents of a victim? Honestly, I have absolutely no idea. Like, I emotionally feel for every single case that I cover, and it's heartbreaking for me. But every time I cover these and it involves a child, or really if I just sit down and really start thinking about it and I see pictures of the parents or family members, I have no idea. Like, I have no idea what I would do in that situation. I wouldn't know how to cope with it. I wouldn't know what to say to a parent. So I have absolutely no idea. Make something fresh than Belle. Funny. Gotta go have dinner. Thanks for the video. You're welcome. Have fun at dinner. Enjoy it. Apparently my barbecue is getting room temperature, according to Powell. Let's see. Do you have a hard time getting rid of anything else like that? I'm assuming the mirror. No, I don't. Actually, yes, I do. So I've always had an issue getting rid of things, but like small stuff, like just dumb things. Like I'm literally borderline hoarder when it comes to like getting rid of things. Like I'm even particular about like trash cans I throw it in, but I also have OCD, so that has like a lot to do with that aspect of things, but it's very different from how I feel when it comes to getting rid of this mirror. Are your clothes still going missing? No. I have had nothing else go missing. Like there's been nothing happening other than what I said before. Yeah, everyone's just saying it's possible that we're sensitive. But that's, will you ever cover what happened to your sibling? Probably not. I've had a lot of people ask that question. It's just something that it happened a very long time ago. It's just something that I'm not particularly comfortable talking about. Have you met with a medium? No. Do you meditate? No. So your girl has some serious anxiety, and like my brain doesn't stop, if you can't tell. So I've tried meditation a couple of times, and I have not been able to get myself to chill out, like at all. Now I know where your daughter gets her hoarder tendencies, from your hoarder vlog. Yes, correct. She got that from me. I am a Leo. Like, when you go and look up character traits of a Leo, that is me. Like 100%. If you can't tell, I'm sweating because my lights are starting to get very hot. Do guided meditation. I have also tried guided meditation, and that didn't work very well either. Let's see what else. Okay, so on that note, I think I'm going to go ahead and stop. I'm like burning under these lights, but thank you guys so much for watching. I've had so much fun. I love sitting down and doing my regular videos, but it can be very draining emotionally and physically, and I just needed kind of like a little breather. I wanted to actually talk to you guys, not feel as like tense and rigid and like distant. So I had a good time, and I hope you guys had a good time too. Let's see, sending love from Brazil. My maiden name is Dunnigan. Someone asked that. But yeah, so everyone's being so nice. The full video of this will be on YouTube. I will have it up and keep it up. I know a lot of people probably came in later or whatever. I was aware that was going to happen, but it was my best option today for a video, and I really want to actually talk to you guys, be able to see what you think right here and there, and like actually be able to respond to it. It was super important to me, so I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Everything will be up. I talked about all the case updates. I did a Q&A in the beginning, and then my paranormal story, and yep. But I'm gonna go. I'm sweating, and my barbecue is getting room temperature, so Saturday, guys, and like get prepared, okay? Get prepared, okay? It's insane. But yeah, thank you. Bye!